I was invited to be here this afternoon, and I thought, okay, great. You have 16 of these, 16 weeks. You have 2 every week. You only have to attend 6. We're at the end of the semester. It's a requirement. We're going to have 12 people in the room. So I've heard that we're going to have about 100. So how many of us, by a show of hands, would admit that we are procrastinators? There we go. All right, now we're glad to be here. What is your expectation tonight? How many of us came here and said, all right, I'm going to get about 55 minutes of sleep? 35? All right, how many of us want an interactive type program? All right, here we go. So most of us have heard of Dale Carnegie prior to tonight, right? How to Win Friends and Influence People. Show of hands, how many of us have read the book? How many of us own the book, we just haven't read it? All right, there we go. Now, obviously, we've been around several years. 1912, Dale Carnegie started teaching adult men how to be successful in the business world. And now, someone help me out. Why did he start teaching adult men in 1912?
They were the only ones working.
What's that?
They were the only ones working.
They were the only ones that were really in the marketplace, working at that point. So obviously it's transpired over the years. Dale Carnegie passed away in 1955. His wife took over the organization, and when he passed away, the Dale Carnegie training was delivered in only 2 countries, North America and spotty throughout Europe. When his wife passed away in 1997, she took the organization to where it was in 67 countries in over 30 different languages. So as much as we still have the Dale Carnegie as our name, we wouldn't necessarily be here today if it wasn't for his wife, Dorothy. A few years ago, How to Win Friends and Influence People was the #1 paid business app on the iPhone. And now that How to Win Friends and Influence People in the digital age is out as well. So we continue to change with the times in a lot of aspects in how we deliver programs and what we're doing. So this gives you an idea of who we really work with. On an every average year, we work with over 400 of the Fortune 500 organizations. Now, let me see how many of you can pick out maybe one of the different graduates in the room here, because we've had a number of became very famous people, and let's see if anybody knows or can recognize someone from Arizona. As soon as you can, please blurt out their name. John, very good, go ahead.
John Kuban.
John, would you please stand?
Yeah, sure.
John is one of the professors here. So if none of us that are coming in and you need a handout, please let us know. So it's going to be very interactive. And so the very first question I'm going to ask you to do is on your handout. It asks you to identify a person that you believe or you feel is successful in this world. And kind of identify who they are, the person's name, as well as the qualities and traits that you believe make them successful. What are some of the qualities or traits that you identified? Who first? Somebody. Go ahead.
Work ethic?
Absolutely. They have to go to work hard. Would you agree? Work smart. Be dedicated to their task. Good. Somebody else.
Continually learning.
Absolutely. The knowledge that we get here is the foundation. It's the admission ticket into our opportunities in life, right? What else? Unfortunately, the world doesn't just follow Ken, right? We have to adapt to the global economy even more so.
Interpersonal communication.
Yeah, so both. We have to be able to communicate to everybody, clear, concise, be persuasive, and then we have to have others get along with us, right? And we have to be able to lead others. What else? Back in the room.
Accountable.
Where does the accountability begin when you think about it? Probably themselves. Would you agree? Yes, absolutely. How many times have we worked with somebody, we've been around somebody, they're not accountable for their own actions? Right? How many of us enjoy following that person? Into trouble, maybe, right? You know, those kind of meetings are fun from time to time. Not that I would know. All right, somebody else. What else?
Mission.
some sort of drive within. They have to have a desire to excel.
Confidence.
Yes. Now, would you agree that there's a difference between confidence and arrogance? How many of us have met the person that's confused on that aspect? All right, somebody else, there you go.
Strong leadership.
Yeah. Being able to stand and stay firm in times of crisis. Being able to make those tough decisions. It's not easy.
Emotional intelligence.
That covers a large gamut.
Yeah.
But so what stands out in your mind on that?
Ethics.
Okay?
Ethics, being able to understand kind of, I would say, different cultures, different white people think they did.
So an understanding of everything. All right, good. There we go.
A willingness to take risks.
Yes. Step outside our comfort zone. How many of us recognize our comfort zone? We know exactly where it's at. It's not easy getting outside there, is it? All right? Just a couple more. Consistency. Now, why do you feel consistency is important?
Because if you do a job in one quality, that's what the person directly above you or working with you expects. And if you don't do it the right way the next time, then there's no development of trust.
There we go. All right, so it leads to that expert trust. Right. What? Yes. Stress comes into our lives, would you agree? Now, how many of us remain logical under times of crisis? How many of us jump on more of the emotional stride? Yeah. It's not easy, but it's something we have to be able to do. So when we look at that, when you kind of identify the traits that you wrote down, we could break them into 3 different categories. One would be a skill set, communicating, dealing with people, problem solving. That's a skill, right? The others we could identify as an attitude, drive, consistency, emotional intelligence. Those types of things are the attitude aspect. And then, of course, we have the knowledge. We have our education. One of the things you never listed off is we didn't have our college degree. Is a college degree necessarily required? No. But what does it do? It what? It helps us. The knowledge from that education is more important than that piece of paper. Absolutely. And so we have to have that knowledge. But most of us, what happens is that there's individuals that really believe, and they put 95% of their effort towards this knowledge pattern. We need more knowledge. We need more experience. We need more information. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't get it. We have to have continuous education. We have continuous education each and every year, even though we teach it. We have to go outside and do it on our own. But yeah, really what it comes down to is how many of us have ever had the GIWIST? Gee, I wish I would have said that. Right? So what happens is that we had the information, we had the knowledge. It just didn't escape our brain to move into our mouth fast enough. So we have to put more focus on the skills and the attitudes. There's some very brilliant people in this world that can't lead themselves out of a brown paper bag. How many of us have been around that individual that is very bright, but they can't communicate, they can't lead? They're not that stable. So those individuals aren't going to be the ones that are successful. And this is what Dale Carnegie pioneered, the Dale Carnegie program is about. So is it still relevant to today? And so there was a study, but there was an article just recently in Fortune.com. And this is what they have identified that's really important with individuals coming into the marketplace today. They have to have relationship building abilities. They have to understand the employee engagement aspect and being able to be engaged and enthused and excited about what they do. Team building. It's not being able to just do an exercise of team building. How can we work together in team? The ability to brainstorm. We have to have the ability to have an open mind. And yet all too often when we get into brainstorming sessions, it's my chance to persuade you that I'm right. And we have 9 of us brainstorming. We have 9 people having that idea that they're right. And so therefore it's just this accumulation, and whoever wins the battle seems to win it. Well, we need to make sure that we're brainstorming more frequently and more efficiently. Cultural sensitivity, the global economy. as well as the ability to manage that diverse set of employees. This is what Fortune.com said here in the last 30, 45 days. So really, what does this look like? How do we put those principles and those aspects into life? So at this point, I need 18 volunteers. I need, if you would put 6 over here, put 6 right here and 6 over there. First 18 to the front. I would ask you to unfold your map or your chart. You're going to lay it down on the ground. Okay? Then everybody on your team is going to stand on the chart. Simple. Right? Once you're all standing on the chart, figure out how and then perform that action. You have to remain on the tarp at all times. But you have to flip the tarp over. Okay? You guys have seen this before? Please proceed. Put the tarp down. Those of us that are watching, let's see what they're doing, how they get along. So now let's take a look at what they had to do to be successful, or even attempt this aspect, right? So when you look at it, they had to communicate. Would you agree? So they had to talk with each other. Ideas were flowing. They were brainstorming. Those of us that were active in the group, how many times did you hear the group, everybody talking at once, and yet one person's idea was implemented? Right? So what took place, just for that group there, when you think about the communication, what you did, how you did it, what took place? What happened?
We trusted one person.
We trusted one person. Why?
Because they seem to know their guy.
Ah, all right. So, do you think I'm a little quiet? No. So if I have an opinion, do you think I express it? Okay. How many of us are like Ken? We express our opinions. How many of us are a little bit more reserved? We're more thought process. We want to make sure that we're saying it right. We want to analyze. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, right? So does that mean that a person that because I'm vocal, does that mean that I have always the best and brightest ideas? No. So part of this communication means that I have to be specific. I have to make sure that I am clear, concise. I want to make sure that the words that came out of my mouth went into your head the same way they were intended. Now, we have miscommunications all the time. And it's because what we have is we even have the same word, have different meanings. And so if I said we're going to walk outside the building here in a few minutes and take a look at the plant, how many of us are thinking of a green thing growing out of the ground? And how many of us are thinking about a large manufacturing facility? Right? So what happens is that our verbiage itself, the way we speak, causes problems. Now, this afternoon, Audrey delivered a program to a group on being persuasive and making sure that we follow the right process. How many of us like to become a little bit frustrated when we're trying to sell our idea, our thought, and the people that we're communicating to don't understand what we're trying to do? Anybody get a little frustrated with that? Yeah. So it's a matter of being persuasive. How do we deal along that line? Because we deal with people's assumptions. We deal with our own assumptions. I assumed when we came here this afternoon I'd have 12 people because everybody had already taken all their requirements for the semester. Right? Efficiency. 2 minutes. I love the people that can speak for 30 minutes and never really say anything. Right? Yet that happens. We have to overcome barriers of all different aspects, from communication, whether we're down using with whether it's the web-based training, our web-based communication, telephone, face-to-face. We have the different styles. And bottom line is that one of the biggest parts of communication is the ability to listen. We have to understand what others are saying before we can possibly even become persuasive for them. And so communication is obviously the very first area that we need to make sure that we're working on.